So as you saw in the title, I am transitioning my off-camera flash kit from Godox to exclusively Neewer. Now, this is not going to be one of those long, drawn-out, overly dramatic, I'm switching videos. I think those are silly and pointless. I just wanted to drop a video and come before you just to kind of let you know what I'm doing and why I'm switching and give you some insight into the transition. Now, I want to start off by saying that this switch has absolutely nothing to do with any negatives with Godox. As a matter of fact, if you follow my channel, you probably saw my video where my 8200 fell in water and I was able to revive it, and that thing works perfectly to this day. All I had to do was replace the battery. So I've not had any issues whatsoever with my Godox kit. So this switch has absolutely nothing to do with that. I don't have anything negative to say. If you use Godox products, you probably have also not really had any issues. So it really isn't that. The switch really is mainly just because I've enjoyed using Neewer products. So at this point, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, they reached out to me and asked if I would review the Q4, which is their 400 watt strobe. So of course I was intrigued to try it out, because if you know about the Q4, you know that design is very different from all the other strobes on the market. So I really wanted to get that in my hands and test that out and see in real world use in the field what it would be like using that design of a strobe. And I absolutely fell in love with it. And it's one of those things where it isn't like this big, huge difference. It wouldn't be something that I would tell people, sell all of your other strobes and get the Q4 because of this design. But the design definitely made it easier to use in the field, and I enjoyed using it in the field. So I had an opportunity when I first got that strobe to do a photo shoot with my field assistant, and I also made a video on that, which I'll link in the description. But the situations around that shoot was some of the most demanding conditions that I feel like you could really test a strobe in without going like too crazy and extreme. But that shoot was in August. It was during the middle of the day. It was like 115 degrees that day. The sun was out. I mean, I had everything overheating. I had a DSLR camera overheat. We had cell phones overheating. Everything was overheating. That Q4 was an absolute beast. It never overheated. It never missed a shot. And I was shooting high speed sync, full power for 90% of the shoot. And that thing didn't miss. There wasn't a single shot that I took during that shoot that the flash did not fire. And so at that point, I was very intrigued, and I was kind of a believer of the Q4. And I've used that Q4 dozens of times at this point, and it really has just been very enjoyable to use. So throughout the course of time, from when I first got that Q4 to now, I've really had the opportunity to build a really good relationship with my Neewer rep. I've been able to ask a lot of questions, get feedback, get some history on the company. I've given him a lot of suggestions that he's communicated to the development team. So there really has been this relationship that I've built with my rep and with Neewer as a brand. And that's really what sparked the idea of kind of making the transition and just using the Neewer products exclusively for my off-camera flash kit. And so at the end of the day, that really is the reason behind my transition. And so I have to be transparent in saying there obviously has been a financial incentive. I have 2 Q4s and I have 2 Q200s that were provided to me. So there obviously was that financial incentive. But ultimately, what really sparked the conversation was just my love for the Q4 and really understanding and learning about Neewer as a company and where they are and what they're doing and the future of the products that they're wanting to bring out. So let me real quick just kind of speak on Neewer as a company, because I think I've definitely talked to people that have had negative feelings about Neewer as a company, and it's understandable, and it'll make sense when I say what I'm about to say. So in the earlier days for Neewer basically, and I'm going to truncate this into a very shorter version just for the sake of time, but Neewer basically in the past, in the earlier days, took products that they felt they wanted to offer and they just rebranded them and slapped the Neewer name on them. So there really wasn't any type of research into the products. It kind of was like, we want to offer this. So they found a product that was what they wanted to offer. They slapped their name on it and they threw it out there. So the problem with that is that when it came to the durability of the products, the usability, the longevity, all of those things, that really wasn't there. And so that hurt the Neewer brand, because they were putting out products that they really didn't know how they were going to perform, but their name was on it. And so people were having a lot of negative experiences with Neewer products. And so that was damaging to the reputation of Neewer. If we fast forward to today, now Neewer has their own research and development team. So the products that Neewer are putting out now, they're doing research on, they're developing them in-house. And so the products that they are creating today are much more well built, well designed than how they would have been in the past. And so that's why you're really starting to see a lot of these products come out from Neewer that in general are getting very good praise, because they're more in charge and they're more involved in the development of these products than they were in the past. And so in learning that, and I guess I should back up and say I never really have had a problem with Neewer. I have had random Neewer products since I've been in the game. Not necessarily on the strobe front, but I've definitely had just random things from Neewer, just because cost wise, it just was advantageous to go with Neewer over other brands. So I've never personally really had like this overly negative feeling about Neewer, but I can certainly understand people that have. But where they are today, I think they are doing a phenomenal job at putting out products that are designed very well, they function well, they're durable, and they have longevity at a price point that is just fantastic and very good for creatives like us. And so all of that really sparked me to want to explore working with this company more. So as I sit here and I'm saying I'm making this transition, yes, it is true that I've had a financial incentive to do so, but I wouldn't make the transition if I didn't feel like the products will be able to meet the needs that I have as far as working with my clients and the jobs that I do. I would not just make the switch and use products that are going to fail me in the field. So before I decided to make this transition, as I mentioned, I've used the Q4 dozens of times and I've never had an issue with it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Q4 is absolutely perfect and I don't have any cons. I have a video on it, so you can watch that video. So I'm not going to sit here and be fake and praise and say everything is great. I'm not going to do that, because that's not who I am. And I would never present that to you that way. But I could definitely say, just over the 6 months that I've really been dealing with Neewer and having the opportunity to, talk to my rep about things, I just feel really good about them as a company right now. And so this was just a transition that made sense for me. And it really is kind of sometimes there's a part of it where you just want to do something and use something different, just to kind of add some excitement into the kit that you're using. When you use the same thing over and over, it gets the job done, but it gets a little stale. Sometimes it's nice to introduce something new into your kit that brings some excitement or is, fun to use or something like that. So there's that element as well. So at least for the next 6 months, I will be using Neewer strobes for off-camera flash exclusively, and I'm really looking forward to it. I will be dropping a video on the Q200 specifically once I've had a lot more time to really test that out and run it through its paces and all of those things. And I've got a couple questions out to my rep right now that I need to get answered so I could present that information to you guys. But that's that. That is that. So, if you have had a negative experience with Neewer in the past, I would encourage you to give them a shot today. And that's not to say that they're going to meet your needs and they're going to be perfect for you. But I do think if you've had a bad experience with Neewer in the past, it would do you good to give them a shot today. because the products that they are producing today, and mind you, they produce a lot of products. If you go to their Instagram page, it's almost like every other day they're introducing some new product. They have a lot of products, a lot of cool stuff. If you have gas, you might want to stay off of there because you might just buy a bunch of stuff. But if you've had some bad experiences with them, I would definitely encourage you to give them a shot now. And if you have any questions, regarding the Q4 or the Q200, or really the off-camera flash line of strobes that they have, by all means, shoot those to me and I'll send those to my reps, and I'll, try to get some answers for you, get some clarification or whatever information you're looking to get. I'll do my best to get that for you. So that is that. I'm looking forward to bringing you a lot more content in 2025. 2024 was definitely a tough year for me in terms of staying consistent with this YouTube channel. But in 2025, I'm definitely looking to change that. I want to bring you a lot more content. You're going to be seeing these newer strobes in use a lot more on this channel. And so I'm really looking forward to that. So, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you. I appreciate all the support that I've gotten over the years on this channel. I appreciate everyone that's tuned in, that's commented, that viewed videos, liked videos, all of those things. I'm very grateful for you. I appreciate that. And I know I haven't said it in a while because, I haven't really been posting a whole lot of videos. But I definitely appreciate you. I thank you for your continued support, and I look forward to sitting in front of you in 2025 and bringing you a lot of great content. I've got some great ideas, some great things planned. So look forward to that. Look forward to seeing you. Happy New Year.